LambdaGeneration.
Greetings! When someone plays a video game and they really like it, sometimes they become part of that game's fanbase. Once they do that, they might go a little bit deeper and they start to want more of that video game that they love so much.
This is where the modding scene comes in. For the Half-Life games, we got loads upon loads of custom-created experiences you can play. Most people who really want more of Half-Life just play these new custom experiences. Others decide to take matters into their own hands, and most of the time, these matters materialize into passion projects. This was the case with Half-Life Delta, a mod created and released by a Russian community member, XFAlien, where you play as Nick Farrell, a technical engineer for the Delta base complex. Then the resonance cascade happened and Nick suddenly started to experience a bad day like no other, now having to escape the Delta base. Now, XFAlien is no stranger to the Half-Life modding scene, having released a pretty big mod before Half-Life Delta came out. Arctic Incident is what that mod was called, and it had the player run and shoot through an Arctic research facility to make it out alive. I vaguely remember playing this mod all the way back when it first came out, and I remember liking it quite a bit. And from the screenshots I'm showing right here, you can definitely tell some effort was put into these maps.
Half-Life Delta is a whole different beast though. While Arctic Incident only had about 6 maps, which clock in at around 20 to 25 minutes of playtime, Half-Life Delta has a whopping 31 maps divided into 4 different chapters.
This also means that the development of the mod must have taken quite a long time, right? I mean, 31 maps is quite an undertaking for just one modder. That's correct, because according to XFAlien, the mod originally started development in August of 2009. That's 12 years ago, holy crap. I was 10 when this mod started development. I'm 22 now. The development of the mod was documented over time on both ModDB, the Russian HLFX.ru forums, and the project's own website, deltamod.ucause.ru. But that site hasn't been updated since 2014. The most interesting thing I could find from this early period of the mod's development was this trailer that was uploaded to the ModDB page. In this trailer, we see a mod that's seemingly already pretty far into development. Some of the mapping work and custom content already looks quite good. The trailer also has a metal song as its soundtrack, so I can't really play the audio here due to copyright. The trailer also states at the end that the mod will be released in 2012 and, well, that didn't happen. The mod instead continued to be updated and refined, having some of that process documented on the website, the HLFX forums, and the ModDB page. On July 17, 2016, a preview version of Half-Life Delta was released to the ModDB page and included 2 single-player maps, a bunch of custom content, and content taken from other games. And later in 2018, a public demo was released including the first 8 campaign maps and an earlier version of the story. And eventually we ended up getting a brand new trailer released on the 27th of October 2021, this year. And this trailer definitely shows that a lot of progress was made to improve on what was pretty much an already decent looking mod. The trailer also stated that the mod was going to release in just 2 more days from then. The 29th of October 2021 was the new release date set by XFAlien. And did it release? Yes. Yes, it did. Half-Life Delta released after 12 years of development onto ModDB with a Steam version planned later on, whenever Steam support decides to get back to XFAlien. Valve, right?
So with all these maps, 300 plus custom models, loads of custom textures and sounds and animation, how does this mod play? Well, I played it for about 1.5 hours, so I think I got a pretty decent first impression right here. Now yes, that means I did not play every single part of it. Unfortunately, I was really busy these last week with, releasing 2 other videos. So my time was a little bit short this week. I'm so sorry. I still got a bunch of stuff to say though, so I'll try to keep it short and concise.
The game starts you off right after Nick's train ride through the Delta base. This whole first part of the game is basically one big nod to the original Half-Life. The NPCs even have the exact same dialogue, and you got exactly the same objective here. Get your absolutely fabulous looking purple suit and get down to the test chamber. However, once we're in the test chamber, we actually cut to a shot from Black Mesa where Gordon slots the Zen crystal inside of the anti-mass spectrometer. And everybody knows what happens next, of course. The experiment goes really well, and all the scientists, including Gordon, get ice cream afterwards. Specifically Ben & Jerry's cookie dough. No, just kidding, everything goes to shit. Once we cut back to Delta Base, we can actually see that not only is Black Mesa going to shit, but Delta is also experiencing the same issues with their version of the anti-mass spectrometer completely failing in the same way as well, welcoming the Zen creatures into Delta Base. After that whole ordeal, the game actually gets started. In a lot of ways, it plays exactly like how you'd expect. Like a Half-Life game. Only a very pretty looking Half-Life game. Seriously, the mapping work in this mod is extremely high quality. Hallways have curves, and the lighting makes everything look even better. Like I mentioned before, the mod has a whole lot of custom content in it, from models to textures and animations. These textures especially kind of desaturate the game a bit, which is especially noticeable in its outdoor levels with its gray skies and the concrete structures of the Delta Base. The level design itself is also quite decent, with lots of branching paths and little rooms to discover items inside of. However, this is where my first complaint about this mod comes in: the lack of resources at your disposal. Remember when I said that this mod plays like a Half-Life game in a lot of ways? Well, in some ways, it doesn't. Resources, especially in the first part of the game, are very scarce, up to a point where I was running around with only 5 HP and had to fight a whole army of Zen creatures and zombies. And there was no health or ammunition in sight. And once you do finally find a health package or some ammunition for your guns, it usually isn't a very generous amount. Not to mention that your health is quickly drained by the enemies, which feel a bit stronger here than they did in the original Half-Life. They take a lot more bullets to kill and deal a lot more damage to you.
Now, all of that would have been totally fine if I was playing on hard mode or something like that. I was playing on easy. Hey, don't judge me.
Now, I'm not the best gamer in the world, I'll straight up admit that, so maybe you have a slightly better experience with this than me, but hey, these are supposed to be my first impressions, right? Now, XF Alien has actually made a post over on the mod's ModDB page stating that he actually knows about these issues and that he is planning on fixing them in the near future. So I think I must have not been the only one here with a strong opinion on the game's balancing. Another thing that doesn't help with resource gathering is that the health and suits charging stations blend into the environment a bit too much. Less so with the health charger, but in many cases the suit charger is just straight up the same color as the wall it's hanging on. That's not great design. Let's get to some more positive stuff though. The weapons feel pretty good to use. They all have custom animations, models, and sounds, enhancing them in many ways from the original Half-Life ones. I especially like the Desert Eagle. It's one powerful boy. Another thing I really like are the little nods in the environment that suggest that Delta and Black Mesa are direct competitors to each other when it comes to teleportation technology, and Black Mesa is apparently way further ahead of Delta, according to this nifty poster. It kinda makes you wonder how Delta Base would fit in with the rest of the Half-Life lore. Maybe at some point the whole company would be acquired and merged with Aperture Science or something like that, and that suddenly makes Aperture Black Mesa's biggest competitor. Who knows, right? Oh, and would you know it, the mod actually has full voice acting, but it's all in Russian. Luckily for the most critical bits of dialogue, there are English subtitles, so you don't have to worry about missing important details due to a language barrier. The upcoming Steam version of the mod, however, will feature English voice acting according to XF Alien in the article he published about releasing the mod, so there is that to look forward to. All in all, Half-Life Delta so far seems like a really nice package that needs some work before it can really begin to shine. I'm sure that when these balancing and design problems are fixed, it could really become a classic. The 12-year development journey might not be entirely over just yet for XF Alien, but Half-Life Delta is definitely a passion project that was worth the wait.
Hey all, I hope you guys enjoyed this different video on this Thursday night. I know you guys expected an All Things Lambda episode, and this isn't really that. I actually want to start focusing a little bit more on talking about one topic very in depth instead of having multiple topics and cramming them all into this like 10-minute video. I usually have a lot to say about topics like these, but I don't always get to say everything in All Things Lambda. So from now on, you're going to see more videos kinda like this. Now it's still very experimental and I still gotta find a good style for this, so see this as the beginning. But it'll definitely be a very interesting journey and I hope you guys will be tagging along with me for the ride. Anyway, with that out of the way, you know what else you should tag along with? Our social media pages, of course. Our Twitter and Facebook are linked down below in the description, as well as an invite link to our Discord server. Go join us there as well, because we talk about Half-Life pretty much 24/7 on there. We got our very own community platform as well, where you can just find the craziest Half-Life stuff. There's new content there every single day, and I highly recommend you sign up for it. A link for that is also in the description below, of course. My very own Twitter and YouTube are also linked down below in the description. I tweet very quirky stuff over on my very own Twitter page, so if you want to see more of me, then definitely go check that out. My name has been Mitch, and you have been watching the LambdaGeneration channel. Don't forget to subscribe and to ring that bell icon so you'll never miss another video. Salutations, and take care.